News Live at 6.
We continue to ride the wave of decent late January weather. A little sunshine would be probably icing on the cake, wouldn't it?
I think so. Let's first find out about tonight's conditions. Hutch is here with your No Wait weather planner. Hutch?
Well, you two, we continue to see foggy skies, reduced visibility, and we talked about some snow in the forecast, and we're tracking that on the radar. Here's a look around the region, Oriska area on I-94, some reduced visibilities. Some snow that has actually landed on the roads, creating some slippery conditions near New Rockford and Binford out to the west. And as we take a look in Fargo, we have, well, cloudy skies, but overall nothing falling from those skies at this hour. Light snow in the eastern third of North Dakota and all the way out toward the Bemidji area. We could be seeing a few flakes. Look at what's going on out to the west. Temperatures there 30 to 40 degrees in central and western parts of North Dakota, while we are in the teens here. And along that boundary, we have flakes in the offing. So this evening, there'll be a chance at some light snow showers here in the FM area, causing slippery roads. Temperatures steady to maybe even slowly rising as we go through the early overnight hours. Grand Forks will be in the teens. It was cold in Grand Forks this morning with a low well below zero. We'll have details on that, and we'll talk about a very, very warm stretch of weather ahead. I'm really eager, as you can tell, to share the news on that here in just a few minutes.
Very, very warm. We like the sounds of that. Thanks, Hutch.
Mm-hmm. He wasn't like that when I brought him to yard, you know, and for me to get my son back and he's dead.
Authorities in Holly, Minnesota are investigating the death of a child who was taken by protective services from a Moorhead couple and had been with foster parents for a few months.
Valley News Team's Joshua Pagero has an exclusive interview with the family who initially reached out to us on our Whistleblower Hotline.
Jermaine Johnson is struggling with the loss of his 2-year-old son, Jermaine Jr. He says he never imagined having to bury his 2-year-old kid.
Something we will never get over. You know, we will never get over it. You know, a young life was taken way too fast.
Trying to cope with baby Jay's death is as difficult as finding out how it happened. Authorities want to know as well.
I just want justice for my son. I want this story to get out so that nobody other family goes through this.
Johnson says the family had just celebrated his son's birthday in December. His son was under the care of foster parents.
We were so bad parents or so neglectful. What do you call this?
Court documents show Clay County Social Services took away 5 kids belonging to the Johnson family because of allegations of neglect and abuse. The kids, ranging in age from 4 to a newborn, were placed in other homes. Baby Jay went to a foster home in Holly. Johnson says the system failed in protecting his son.
You know, my kids are not safe. They wasn't safe the whole time. They told us they was going to put them in a safe place.
Holly police tell me they did receive their preliminary autopsy report. However, they're refusing to release it. They also don't want to disclose which house was it where the incident occurred. CPS says the child was suffering from brain bleeding when he was taken to a Fargo hospital last week. He died an hour and a half into surgery. We reached out to Clay County Social Services and all law enforcement agencies involved for a comment. They either didn't respond or would not because of the ongoing investigation. In Holly, Joshua Pagero, Valley News Live.
Another one of Jermaine Johnson's kids who was in the same house as baby Jay was moved to another location. And if you need help uncovering an issue in your community, call our Whistleblower Hotline, 237-6576, and leave your tip. A member of our investigative team will get on the case and go to work to expose the truth.
We now know the name of the man who was found dead in the parking lot of a Fargo business. The body of 30-year-old Wesley Gunhammer Jr. was found near Accent Kitchen and Bath along Main Avenue. His death is not considered suspicious, and an autopsy is being conducted to determine the exact cause of death. A 36-year-old Minnesota woman will spend more than 3 decades in jail in the death of Troy Yarborough. 36-year-old Kayla Westcott and her then-boyfriend, Jason Jensen, were accused of attempting to kill Yarborough with an axe and then leaving his body in a shed on their farmstead in Hitterdall, Minnesota. They discovered the body next day, discovered that he was still alive. Westcott claims that Jensen then killed Yarborough by hitting him in the head with a cinder block. He's serving 38 years in prison after pleading guilty in April. Westcott will spend around 32 years in prison after entering an Alford plea, which doesn't admit guilt but agrees that there's probably enough evidence to find her guilty.
Bond has been set at $250,000 for the woman accused of killing a teenage boy in Northwood, North Dakota. 32-year-old Samantha Wilson is charged with murder as well as contact by bodily fluids on a corrections officer. Authorities responded to a home in Northwood Sunday night. They allege that 15-year-old Jonah Borth was struck in the chest after Wilson fired one round from a 9mm pistol. The boy was pronounced dead at the scene. Borth's father and Wilson's two 8-year-old children were also in the house at the time of the shooting. Wilson, they say, became uncooperative once she was brought in, banging her head on the windows and cage of the patrol car and spitting blood on an officer. Investigators are still working to determine a motive.
The towing continues in Fargo as city crews work to clean up snowy streets. The latest is around 17th Avenue North between 11th Street and 12th Street, which is near NDSU. NDSU took to Twitter yesterday saying that they've seen too many traffic backups and near misses this winter. City officials say snow is being hauled away from the area to widen the road. They're asking cars to be moved on Monday, Wednesday, or Friday, or risk getting a $25 ticket and possibly the more expensive cost of being towed.
It's just really dangerous, you know. You gotta take it real slow. I've actually seen a bus try to make that turn one time and actually clip a car.
City officials also say it's a good idea to know when plows are coming so you know when you should be off the roads. To learn more about that, look on our Valley News Live app.
As the U.S. Census Bureau recruits to fill thousands of temporary positions, the Better Business Bureau says to beware of scams. Scammers are posting about open census jobs on the web and social media and then asking to be paid fees for applications or training. That is a dead giveaway that this is a scam. Federal agencies never charge application fees. The Census Bureau will also not charge you for training or ask you to buy any equipment you may need. Scammers may ask for you to provide your personal and banking information to run a credit check or set up direct deposit.
A slump in manufacturing and a trade war that has slowed economic growth in China has led to a second round of layoffs at 3M. The Minnesota company makes Postit notes as well as industrial coatings and ceramics. The 1,500 job cuts come on top of the 2,000 job cuts the company trimmed less than a year ago. The cuts will occur across the business groups and geographies. Earlier this month, the Institute for Supply Management reported that U.S. manufacturing activity fell to the lowest level in more than a decade.
North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum is expected to highlight progress in the past year and remaining challenges in his State of the State address. It's set for tomorrow at the Chester Fritz Auditorium at UND. Burgum's office says the first-term Republican will discuss North Dakota's budget, its oil tax savings account, and ongoing workforce shortages.
Speaking of the state, later on Valley News Live at 6, what North Dakota is doing to keep the private information of its residents private.
And in your Tuesday evening planner, we are tracking a few flakes of snow heading directly toward the valley. We'll let you know what you can expect for tonight and beyond. This morning's temperatures, well, all day the temperatures were mighty chilly here in the valley. But we warm up. I'm excited to share the details right after this.